The new Earth and the old Earth are both here. They are happening right now, and different people in different versions of the simulation are experiencing either one or the other model of the Earth in their consciousness. Some people are still awaiting for the new Earth to come, like the dawning of a new era that happens as a result of a global reset. Some people believe that the new Earth is gradually dawning on us as a result of a shift in human consciousness, that it's something that's going to be ushered in by a collective wake-up call. But this has already been happening, and it's been happening for millennia. Actually, I believe the duality between old and new Earth is something that has spanned human civilization, and has always been the case, because the duality between new Earth and old Earth is just a theme of human consciousness. It is a theme of this simulation that has always been present since the beginning of time. This new Earth concept is about the ascension of frequency to place you in a reality that feels new, feels utopian, feels progressive, egalitarian, aligned with higher values of love, virtue, equality, justice, non-judgment, and understanding for all beings and for the self. Meanwhile, old Earth is a concept that is in line with the divide and conquer model of human civilization. It is an outdated theme of egotism and destruction. The old Earth model is the template of human existence in which consciousness does not have an impact on the status of being. In other words, it's the world in which we don't have a choice other than to survive. It's the template in which we don't realize that we have the ability to reconfigure the simulation that we experience through our own consciousness alone. It's the reality in which we don't realize we are free. We are an aware, conscious soul that is here to raise the frequency of the collective and to experience new Earth through the transcendence of the old ways, through the old power structure that has imprisoned us for so long to not rise above the judgment, the false pretenses, and all of the rigidity that keeps us locked into a masculine, oppressive matrix. The best way that I could describe the new Earth is as a model that is awakened by our own acceptance of love. Love not just as some romantic feeling, but as a total state of integration within ourselves and with the matrix. This is where we come into a true sense of unification, both within ourselves and within the macrocosmic whole that is the universe. Within the New Earth model, everyone and everything have the power to coexist. Even the dualistic elements that in the old Earth situation you would find as the issue or the cause for all resistance. Because the New Earth template doesn't seek to divide and conquer. It doesn't seek to push anything out. It seeks only to integrate and to raise consciousness through more acceptance, through more love, and through non-duality, which is essentially just bringing together everything into a new cohesive model of coexistence. Now, how can we embody the New Earth mentality? Because really, to experience the New Earth within us is to raise our consciousness to the point where we can already perceive ourselves as living in the New Earth. And this is the power of a perspective shift. As soon as you start to embody a new kind of philosophy, you start to welcome in the idea of the New Earth. Because what you're doing is you're representing yourself in a completely new way, allowing your subconscious to project a whole new perception of reality. New Earth and old Earth are coexistent in the same way that a quantum physics particle can coexist in different quantum states. The same way that a particle can be in two places at one time. And due to its vibration, it can take on completely different states of matter. As we're even moving into a new model of physics, with the old theoretical physics paradigm being replaced by a whole new look on quantum physics, including the notion that local realism isn't real, we can now see that the entire Earth model can take on a new metaphysical form when we choose to embody a philosophy which is more energetic and metaphysical in nature. When we see ourselves as energetic sovereign beings that can use our consciousness to tune into totally new states of reality, we can learn to see how transcendence is possible. And so to transcend into a New Earth paradigm is to quantum jump into a version of ourselves that is embodying everything that is aligned with the New Earth template. Now, what are some of these things? First of all, in the old world, you're experiencing fight or flight mode due to the survival instinct. You're more attached and limited to the reptilian brain, which is keeping you in a state of hostility. keeping you in a state of fighting with the environment around you and feeling like a separate individual. In the old earth, there's been fear instilled around belief systems, religion, power structures at be, and all kinds of different elements in society which keep you feeling smaller or lesser than the whole. There's a lack of integration because there's an essential lack of unity imposed by a larger power that has served as an oppressor, as the overlord of us smaller human beings. This has led to the disintegration of human consciousness. This leads to fragmentation and the thinking that we must fear the structures at be. We must learn to be subservient to everything that is currently happening to us. And we don't see that it's actually happening for us because we never think to question what is currently ruling our lives. And so in the old earth template, we can easily be victimized by everything that feels like an oppressive element in our lives. We feel the need to repress emotions. We live primarily from the lower chakras, where our root chakra dictates the need to survive, to be fueled by our desires, to live a materialistic existence in search of something that we think will make us feel more balanced in this more egocentric model of being. In the old earth template, people are ruled by the desire to attain a greater sense of self, to prove the sense of self through superiority, through materialism, through more acquisition, through more kinds of self-dominance, to exert a kind of significance, which is needed in order to feel better than other people in the matrix. However, in the new earth template, you no longer see yourself as needing to survive. You rather see the soul as ruling this experience from a higher dimensional perspective, which means you acknowledge the fact that you came here with a higher purpose. And you start to see yourself more as a being who's operating in divine love for a divine mission. You see everything and everybody around you as aligned with you in this mission in some shape or form. Even the people that you once judged or maybe that once judged you feel like expressions and reflections of some part of you, or perhaps as some part of the greater cosmic one, which chose to express itself in the physical in order to seek deeper integration, love, and awareness. Within the New Earth template, everything is fortified by acceptance, because you start to realize that the reason for everything in existence is to find more acceptance. Even everything that once appeared to be difficult, damaging, traumatizing, and dark is also seen as a reflection of the collective shadow. And so as you expand your consciousness, you can see that the reason why you are achieving this gradual enlightenment of the self is to bring more enlightenment to the whole, to bring more awareness, truth, and illumination to the entire matrix through your stepping into the light of your purpose. And through the increase of your frequency, you're subsequently helping to increase the frequency of the collective. Now, one of the major themes that has perpetuated the old earth template is that of fear surrounding religion and spirituality. Religion has been plagued by fear for millennia. And actually, if we think about the true origin of religion, it has been to create subservience. It has been created to instill fear in people's minds to follow the divine through a paradigm of separation, which is completely paradoxical in nature. How can we find love within ourselves to merge with the divine if it's done through fear of creating sin, or of fearing going to hell if we don't allow ourselves to experience heaven from within? But the more fear that we experience deep down, the more anchored we are to the 3D reality of that separation. The more resistance we feel within ourselves toward the way things are in the physical. And the more that we even fear the divine for our own actions and behaviors that might not be in line with that higher template, the more separation we create from it. So the way to transcend this fear and limitation is to seek radical integration and unity in every aspect of our lives. And so the massive shift that occurs when we move from the old earth template into the new earth is the moving away from our lower chakra system into the higher chakra system. Namely, a transcendence of the ego as we move into the soul and choose to occupy the realm of divine love. Now, what is divine love? Divine love is not just a feeling that you are overcome with when you are in love with another person. It's a feeling of total agape, a universal degree of love, which is so transcendental in nature that if you experience it, you are unable to experience judgment toward anyone or anything. Once you are in the frequency of divine love, you are experiencing source consciousness coursing through your body. You are experiencing a total elevation of your emotional state, feeling love exude from your being and permeate your entire world. Once you can occupy this frequency state, your entire world begins to look more beautiful, and the new earth seems to blossom almost immediately around you, even though you have not actually created any changes externally to you. The only changes you have to create come within your own soul. And that is due to the harmonic alignment with this frequency of love, which creates coherence between your heart and your mind center, making you feel like you can preserve your autonomy, be your soul, and embody your higher self, essentially, choosing to bring new earth down to your own matrix. And what happens then? When you can feel as if you are creating a new earth for yourself, you are actually creating a new earth for the collective. You are actually creating an environment in your field that is conducive to more love, to more magnetic attraction, to more bliss, to more joy, and to the transcendence of all suffering, egocentric attachments, and lower dimensional needs and issues, which allows you to stay in a totally beautiful, blissful state all of the time. Once you can choose to align with this degree of inner harmony, the world starts to harmonize with you, because naturally your subconscious is transcending the limiting beliefs which kept you in fear and attached to this old world paradigm. And the old world paradigm has been coming and going throughout millennia. For millennia, people have tried to transcend this model completely, even as recently Sir Francis Bacon in the 1700s writing a utopian novel called The New Atlantis, trying to bring back the model of Atlantean times in Lemuria back to the founding fathers in America to create a new egalitarian society. But I think what has gone wrong in all these attempts to create a new earth through new systemic structures is the focus has never been on unification at the individual level. Everyone has always tried to etch a new earth through some superficially imposed new structures, beliefs, and ideals. However, the only way to achieve a new earth for all of us is to start embodying it from within, to start seeing the world that we desire within our own hearts and souls, and to start emanating those changes through our own ascended nature. And ascension at this point becomes more about inscension, more about ascending into your own soul and seeing where you still not aligned within you to this reality that you want to be experiencing. You're quite literally a projector of consciousness. And so when you choose to bring yourself to this point of no longer judging, no longer harming, no longer separating, dividing, and creating any kind of maladaptive mechanisms to cope with the old world, but rather choosing to ascend into a new one, you're creating this new reality that you desire. The world is changing to mirror this heightened duality that is existent across human consciousness, wherein some people are going to be descending into ever lower layers of consciousness and ignorance, while other people are going to be ascending to new heights, creating new kinds of means of living harmoniously, peacefully, lovingly. And the souls that are ready to embody this new earth template are going to be finding each other. We're vibrating on one level, essentially coming closer to our own soul group and our own soul understanding of what we are all here to accomplish. If you are even listening to this video, you're part of this template. You're part of the souls that are here tapping into a higher purpose and a deeper degree of truth that we're here to awaken within ourselves and within the collective. Just by understanding these words and by tuning into the power that you have within you to bring about this new earth through your elevated awareness, you're doing your part. Just by choosing to be loving, kind, compassionate, empathetic, and embracing of a love that is truly transcendental in nature, a love that brings people together aside from race, age, gender, any kind of physical status at all. This is love that is so transcendental that it cuts through every limitation that has ever been attempted to be imposed from the mind state. Because when love wins, it brings people together in a new kind of way that is as if we are in a higher dimension altogether. There's only two ways to perceive the world. Either everything is happening intentionally, meaningfully, and guided by a higher power, or everything is happening chaotically, randomly, and unintentionally, without the influence of a higher order in the universe. You get to decide which you embody. And in both cases, you will be right. And that is going to be the influence that becomes pervasive in your world. So choose to limit yourself, and you will be limited. But choose to ascend into a higher matrix where you are guided by love, and the new earth will immediately dawn in your consciousness. And this experience will be such a beautiful one that that you will continue to cherish with the rest of the world that continues to awaken with all of us.